We had a couple of golden eras in the late 30s and onto the 40s, and then during the 50s and the 60s. And that comes with a great responsibility to be an even better steward of our future. And that is something that I take very, very seriously.
Keeping the responsibility of the brand moving forward is something that I've noticed in the Gibson builders that I've been very fortunate to know over time with Gibson. Not just the acoustic builders, I'm talking the electric builders and all of the other people that are the genius behind this product and the products that Gibson creates.
The guitars we're building are heirloom quality instruments. We're not making guitars that are kind of a throwaway product. These guitars will last a lifetime and longer.
I would love to see that 50 years from now, people are referring to what we're doing today as the third golden era.
Once the guitars have received their clear coat and have had adequate rest cycle time, they go into what's called wet sanding. Here we will sand the lacquer down to 1000 grit sandpaper just to prepare it for buffing. Makes the buffing process go faster and easier because the lacquer has already been smoothed out. Even though it's not shiny, it's very, very smooth. It's kind of a matte finish at this point. They'll use orbital sanders and they'll use soapy water to lubricate. So that way they do not sand through the lacquer, thus the word wet sanding. And they will sand the entire body, neck, top, the whole thing. And at this point also then they will buff the top, just so that way it can be prepared for the bridging process.
Well, I believe the importance of buffing is really about first appearances. You walk into a showroom, beautiful lights with guitars on a wall. If it doesn't look right, it stands out. It's the work we do in buffing sets the foundation for that quality of that appearance, and that really is the most important thing.
The buffing process, with the materials and the tools supplied to our buffing team, will give us that shiny gloss, beautiful look that Gibsons are famous for. Now, not all of our guitars get buffed like this. The historics, of course, with their thin lacquer and VOS do not. The fadeds, which have a satin finish, do not get buffed, but our standards and our originals all receive the same buffing process to achieve that look that just pops off the wall.
We will begin by buffing out the backs on the pink wheel, then moving on to buffing out the ribs on the pink wheel, finishing buffing out the neck with a pink wheel and wax. Once all that is done, if the guitar requires electronics, we will then drill the tail block for that electronics access. And after that, then it will be the entire guitar will be white wheeled, basically cleaned and a final polish on the white wheel before we turn it in.
The buffing process itself is a very physical job. The wheels are big, they have a lot of torque. If you're not careful and that buffing wheel grabs a sound hole, grabs the edge of the instrument, it will tear that guitar out of your hands. And these guys get really good at just learning the angles, learning how to maneuver the guitar to buff without that being a danger. The amount of pressure applied is very critical because you can burn through the lacquer and the color if you put too much pressure on. Now the buffing wheels themselves are kind of graduated. They start off with a coarse wheel using our wax that gives it a coarser, more abrasive approach, which will basically warm up the lacquer, get it moving, smooth it out, get it to where we want it to be, and then the polish wheel will shine it up and get it to its finished state.
We use a heavier pink wax with a heavier wheel to cut through the sanding swirls. Basically that will level out the sanding swirls, and we use a secondary softer wheel with a finer, drier white wax to put a final polish and clean on that finish.
When we start someone out in buffing, we usually have specific guitars dedicated to the training purpose, where they will have the chance to learn to use the various coarsenesses of wheels, learn the techniques, learn what to do and what not to do, and just get the end result that we want. Another thing too is over the years and to this day, we are still experimenting and looking for products that make the job less physical, make the job more efficient, and make the end result even better. So we are constantly beta testing different waxes, different types of wheels, and different techniques to reach that point.
Every time I walk into a guitar store, I immediately get drawn into looking at the guitars, looking at the colors and the beautification part of it. So you see in the guitar stores, you see tools. You know, for the most part, there are guitars out there, but then there are guitars that are really beautiful. And Gibson is in that club.
When I see our guitars hanging on the wall, the first thing that really jumps out is really the finishes, just how different each guitar is. It's really, you hang up 30 on the wall and they're all different.
One of the greatest prides I personally take is I understand the value and really what somebody is going to spend their hard-earned money on. I consider that every single day, and I want that guitar to be the best that it can be for the person that will eventually own it.